Pythagoras of Samos was an Ionian Greek philosopher and the eponymous founder of the Pythagoreanism movement. His political and religious teachings were well known in Magna Graecia and influenced the philosophies of Plato, Aristotle, and, through them, Western philosophy, by legend and obfuscation, but he appears to have been the son of Nisarchus, a seal engraver on the island of Samos. Modern scholars disagree regarding Pythagoras' education and influences, but they do agree that, in around 530 BC, he traveled to Croton, where he founded a school in which initiates were sworn to secrecy and lived a communal, ascetic lifestyle. Following Croton's decisive victory over Cyprus in around 510 BC, democracy and Pythagorean meeting houses were burned. Pythagoras may have been killed during this persecution, or he may have escaped to Metapontum, where he eventually died. The teaching most securely identified with Pythagoras is metempsychosis, or the transmigration of souls, which holds that every soul is immortal and, upon death, enters into a new body. He may have also devised the doctrine of musica universalis, thus resonate to produce an inaudible symphony of music. Scholars debate whether Pythagoras himself developed the numerological and musical teachings attributed to him, or if those teachings were developed by his later followers, particularly Philolaus of Croton. He probably prohibited his followers from eating beans, but he may or may not have advocated a strictly vegetarian diet. In antiquity, Pythagoras was credited with many mathematical and scientific discoveries, including theorem, Pythagorean tuning, the 5 regular solids, the theory of proportions, the sphericity of the Earth, and the identity of the morning and evening stars as the planet Venus. It was said that he was the first man to call himself a philosopher, and that he was the first to divide the globe into 5 climatic zones. Classical historians debate whether Pythagoras made these discoveries, and many of the accomplishments credited to him likely originated earlier or were made by his colleagues or successors. Some accounts mention that the philosophy associated with Pythagoras was related to mathematics and that numbers were important, but it is debated to what extent, if at all, he actually contributed to mathematics or natural philosophy. Pythagoras influenced Plato, whose dialogues, especially his Timaeus, exhibit Pythagorean teachings. Pythagorean ideas about mathematical perfection also impacted ancient Greek art, 1st century BC among Middle Platonists, coinciding with the rise of Neo-Pythagoreanism. Pythagoras continued to be regarded as a great philosopher throughout the Middle Ages, and his philosophy had a major impact on scientists such as Nicolaus Copernicus, Johannes Kepler, and Isaac Newton. Pythagorean symbolism was used throughout early modern European esotericism, and his teachings as portrayed in Ovid's Metamorphoses influenced